a lot of men that message me anyway on my page, there's some men that have lost their jobs and they stress that they can't financially provide now. And because they can't financially provide, they feel lesser as a father. Obviously, to me, I think it goes without saying it's important for a man to provide financially. But how much do you feel that impacts the type of father you two are if you was unable to provide financially, or if a financial nightmare occurred? Do you feel like it would affect your roles as fathers?
Being a provider financially, that doesn't make you a father. So, for example, in like your case, for example, if you're providing financially and that's all you're doing, and you consider yourself as a father, then I can step in and be your child's father because then I can provide financially. Do you know what I'm saying? But the difference is, if I so you've gone to your child's first swimming lesson, but I'm just a provider. So you're doing that extra mile, and giving your son that extra, or giving yourself that extra memory, but being there for your child. But I'm just a provider. So I feel like doing the extras like that makes you more of a father than just being a provider. Because money is just money. Like you said with your experiences, your dad gave you money. What if your uncle gave you money? So he's doing the same thing that your dad's doing. So technically, he could be a dad as well then, if that's just a label you want to put on it. Do you know what I mean? But it's the things that you do with your child that makes you the father.
How much do you think finances plays a role in fatherhood? Coming from a man that's obviously had experiences on the good and bad side of that.
I think, depending on the type of person you marry, will dictate how your perception towards how pivotal finances is in how you deem yourself of value in a relationship. I used to think that's what defined me, and that's where my main contribution is. But having that being removed from me, I realized I need to learn how to do other things well. So God forbid if something like that happens to me, I can still kind of hold my and still feel like I'm of value to this relationship. So in my own scenario, I don't think it is pivotal versus someone who's married someone who needs to be a provider. That's the reason why I married you. Maybe you're 10 years or 15 years older. You had X, Y, and Z. That's one of the reasons. That's the criteria I married you. So if you remove that, I'm not saying that the relationship crumbles, but it's a big component part. So I think it will vary from relationship to relationship. I feel in my circumstances now, it's not an issue. I feel like I add value in so many other parts of a relationship besides just bringing X amount of money every single month.
I really love that. And I think something you said is important. Like you said, like your child's uncle could be their dad. Like for me, my youngest has a stepdad. And I know that stepdad provides financially and holds down the house and works with my child's mum really well. And I'm comfortable with that. But if I wasn't around, I know that finances will be taken care of. So knowing that, I guess there's another man looking after my son as well, makes me more aware of what else I can do. Does that make sense? So kind of like making personal moments with my child. And I always say, because a lot of men that I speak to have a fear of men being around their children because it almost pushes them away. And I always say, as long as you do your role as a father, no one can ever take that position. Like you say, like that finances is one thing, but if you be the father, which is everything we spoke of today, no man can come in and take that. You've got that bond. But going back, I know if we look at men, 1970s, let's go back there, right? So a man's role was to leave the house, yeah? So men would leave the house, like get everything we need financially, come back. The woman would be in the house, right? Men knew their role, right? So as we now progress, women become more independent, which is amazing. They now begin to leave the house, right? Now women are able to do what men could do, in the sense of they can go out now, get the money, provide, a lot of men are lost as to when the woman can provide, what is my role? And I notice a lot of men mentally that really affects them when they feel like they haven't got as much money as they used to. What is their role?